Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time. How are you guys doing? Welcome to my live stream. This amazing Tuesday. Welcome. Unfortunately, I couldn't go live yesterday evening due to other activities. That's why we're here this morning. So, as you come in today's live, don't forget to like and contribute in the comment section. Now, the EFCC had officially made some statement this morning saying that, yes, the reason why they arrested the VeryDark man, EFCC has finally put out a statement saying why they arrested VeryDark man. But I have few questions to ask as always. You guys know I do have questions to ask, so come on in. Let's have this conversation this morning. So I'm also going to put up their statement so we can all go through that together and also let you know what the people, the citizens, are thinking regarding that statement. I tried to study this statement. I've read it more than once to see if it's going to make more sense to me. Yes, it's a very vague statement because they did not say categorically the reason why they arrested him. They just said they have petition against him, petitions, not once, bordering on alleged financial crime against him. They've invited him to come up. They invited him. They, sent invitation to his addresses, known addresses, including email, phone number, and his resident. And the VeryDark man never showed up. So now they have gotten the right statement to keep him, which means they have gotten the order to detain the VeryDark man. And from what we are hearing, they got 2 weeks order, which is 14 days, making it 2 whole weeks that they are going to detain him until investigation is done before they charge him to court. You already have, okay, let me tell you where I have problems with that statement because, like I said, it's a vague statement. Somebody you've held since Friday. Today is Tuesday, and you guys came out 34 minutes ago to put out the statement on your website and everything, saying there are petition bordering on money, alleged financial crime against the VeryDark man. Petitions, without specifically saying he was charged for this crime or that or that or that. And the rule of law is this accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So right now, the VeryDark man is still presumed innocent. That is the rule of law. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now they are not saying exactly what his offenses are, and I'm still asking what is his offense. What is the offense he committed for them to have whisked him out the way they did as though he was a full-blown criminal? That's my concern. Now they put out this statement and saying more of the things they put out there is trying to say that there have been so many attacks on them, the EFCC, and people should desist from doing that and what have you. They have him in custody. They've at least accepted they have him in custody. Okay. And they're not talking about how he was arrested, whether it was out of the the ambience of the law. They are not making reference to the manner which they took him. All they know is that they have the right to arrest him. Nobody's saying that you don't have the right to arrest anybody. Nobody's above the law, including the VeryDark man. But the manner which they took him was that of abduction, okay? They didn't make any reference to it. And they still say that, yes, that they know that a lot of people, Nigerians, are passionate. They're full of enthusiasm and all of that, but they are not going to tolerate any nonsense people are saying to them. However, insinuation about the motive in carrying out this assignment should no longer continue. So they are more of what people are saying about them out there than the issue at hand. The issue at hand is that you guys took someone and now you're calling it arrest. You said he's been invited. If truly the very dark man has been invited severally and he refused to honor the invitation, I will fault him there. Seriously, I will. Because he comes to his video, he said, yes, arrest me. I'm not afraid of being arrested. Arrest me. And then EFCC saying they've invited him several times and he did not show up. There's a bit of contradiction there. This guy comes out publicly, say you push to arrest him. And then you people are now saying now you've invited him. Who do I believe in this case? If you really ask me reasonably, I'm going to say I would rather believe what the very dark man is saying, that yes, they can arrest him. If they have a case against him, they can arrest him. He's going to go, than believing that you people say you have sent petitions severally to him and he never honored any of those invitations. In this statement they put out is just to accept the fact that they have very dark man in their custody, and also to tell you, yes, they have gotten the right order to detain him. They got order to detain him until they conclude their investigation. I have a question. When someone is picked up by the enforcement authorities, and the first thing they will tell you, they will read you the Miranda rights. You have every right to remain silent. Anything you say might be taken against you in the court of law. So you give that person that Miranda, for him to know his right. You don't have to answer any question. You don't have to say anything. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. Now, if the very dark man decided not to talk to the EFCC, if that's his option, he's still within his right. It's not a must you answer questions, especially without your lawyer. You can say, I'm not going to say anything until my lawyer is present. So until your lawyer comes, you cannot say anything. When your lawyer gets there, they will be discussing with your lawyer. You understand? Your lawyer will be present before you make statement. In that way, you avoid yourself some trouble. Because in the heat of, the emotion, you might say things that ordinarily you wouldn't have said. That's always the reason why they will tell you, be guided. Don't say anything until your lawyer gets there. And if your lawyer gets there, you are going to have that briefing, and then you know how to talk and how to present your case. So if you decide not to, give them any answers to their question, it's still within his right. If they said, okay, we are going ahead to charge you to court, that is what is expected. Charge the person to court within 24 hours. You charge the suspect or the accused to court. But now, yesterday, they got the orders to keep him. They are trying to investigate. Some people will say, I have nothing to say. If you have evidence against what you're charging me for, let's go to court. And that's where I can be able to talk freely. Because sometimes when someone is in detention, you might be forced to make some statements that will work against you. That's why you need to, before you say anything to any enforcement, find out your right concerning legal representative. So if very dark man refused to say things to them, he's within his right. You don't have to answer until your lawyer is present. If your lawyer is not present there, do not say a word. Remember this Miranda right. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. Now, what is his offense? I'm still asking this question. Hi, Marilyn, how are you doing this morning? Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate. So if you're coming in for the first time, don't forget to like the live stream. Don't forget to contribute in the comment section. Let me know what is going on in your mind right now, because we need to, hear opinions of what is happening. So according to EFCC statement, I'm going to read some of it. They released a statement like 30-something minutes ago. It's not up to 40 minutes. Okay, 41 minutes ago. They said Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in the exercise of its mandate of tracking economic and financial crime, invited Martin Vincent Osei, owing to a series of petitions bordering on sundry issues of alleged financial crimes raised against him. Alleged financial crimes raised against him. So they don't want to say the name of the petitioners. No, they did not put it here. I guess they're also trying to protect the petitioners, and they don't want to bring out the charges, they have against the VeryDark man. The petition, what is the petition? Because if I'm petitioning, for example, I'm going to say, yes, I did a transaction with Mr. B, and Mr. B, instead of paying me my return on investment, took my principal and at the same time defrauded me of my return on investment. And I've been following him up for the past 6 months, and Mr. B refused to pay me up. Then that will be Oyoyo against Mr. B. I will be the petitioner against Mr. B. You understand? But this one, they are not saying what the petitions are. They said series of petitions without mentioning any particular one of them. And they continued, they said, they invited him on series of petitions, and he refused to show up in spite of several invitations sent to him through his known addresses and medium of communication. That means they must have sent to his email address, to his WhatsApp contact, to his Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. They must have sent several, communications to him, telling him that he'd been invited to the EFCC show up, and he did not. The petition pertained to grave allegation of financial, grave. They did not say per se, but for them to have taken him, that means there is a strong, strong allegation against the VeryDark man, in as much as they don't want to list it per se, the reason why they are doing what they are doing. And again, they went on to say, it is needful to admit that the commission is aware of several unguarded attacks of the suspect against his operations. While such conduct is condemnable, his arrest was not informed by the attack. You see, they are trying to justify the way they took him and all of that. And they're also trying to let you know that the relevant law enforcement agency will be allowed to look into them. So if there is anything that is saying they did contrary to what the rules of their commission is, of course, you can bring that petition to court by suing EFCC, due to the way they took the VeryDark man. That is not the due process of arrest. I've said it now on 2 live streams. Arrest should be done as an arrest, not as whisking someone as though you are men from men of underworld. You understand? So now, what are Nigerians saying about this statement EFCC made? What do you think Nigerians are saying? What do you think Nigerians are saying? I'm going to review some of those comments, and then we'll come back with our analysis, because we want to believe the right thing. We want to do the right thing, and we work with facts. Okay, someone said, we acknowledge the EFCC official statement regarding the arrest and detention of Martins. However, we find it necessary to raise a few critical questions concerning and concerns regarding the claim made in the statement. First, and most importantly, the EFCC alleges that several invitations were sent to the VeryDark man through his known addresses and medium of communication. We respectfully ask, where are these invitations? Let the EFCC provide verifiable evidence to those communications, date, medium used, email, physical letters, phone calls, and proof of delivery or acknowledgement. You see, some people are still not buying that. You know why? The VeryDark man, in his last video, when he made a video about EFCC and e-money, he said categorically in his videos, they can arrest him. He's not afraid of arrest. If they ask him to come, of course, he will show up. So now coming to say that they've been inviting him, they've sent several petitions, several invites, he did not honor that. Somebody is questioning that, because Nigerians now are smarter. They might not be come to attack you physically the way VeryDark Man oppose people and the way he advocates for people, but they are using their weapon, which is the the keyboard weapon, to what? To ask these questions. And this is a very intelligent question that this man asks here. His name is Big Natty 001. Very interesting question he asked. They should provide those information saying, yes, on March 28th, we sent you an email at 8 p.m. on February 10, on June, with facts and figures. Then people will believe what you're saying. So the guy is very correct here, and I really like the way he put it nicely without any insult. They should tell them verifiable evidence to show the invitations they've sent to VeryDark Man, and he did not show up. I like the way this person put it. Until then, the claim that the VeryDark Man refused to show up remain unsubstantiated. They cannot prove it until they provide evidence saying this is what they did, this is when it was done. We have acknowledgement that VeryDark Man received our email when we sent a dispatcher. He signed the document. We have a copy. We sent him email on January 1st at 2 p.m. on February 2nd at 10, things you can prove. Because if you send me an email, for example, even if it goes to my spam mails, I can go there and find the date, the time it was sent, right? That's what this person is actually telling EFCC. He continued by saying, it's also essential to reiterate that due process must be followed in all investigation, no matter how serious the allegation is. Exactly. Due process. I just said it a few minutes ago. The way they took him on Friday is nothing close to what is called due process of arrest. Arrest should be done formally. You go, you meet the person, you arrest the person, you introduce yourself, you show your badge, your ID card showing the agency that is carrying out the operation. Before you do that, you don't whisk people out and cover their head as if they did what? What offense did the VeryDark Man commit? I'm still asking, because from what EFCC said, he said petitions against him. If it were just mere petitions by people, no matter how grievous that petition is, that's not the reason why they should whisk you out as if you're a warlord, as if you're a drug lord. Do you understand what I'm saying? As if the person has committed a treasonable offense against the country. No. These things, the things I mentioned, if you're a warlord, if you're a drug lord, if you committed treasonable offenses, yes, those are extreme. They can actually whisk you out. If they find you somewhere, grab you, whisk you out because of the level of what? Criminality involved in the case. But this one is petition. Petition. It's not that they have charged this guy to court and then the court now gave him sentence and he ran away. None. It's allegations, petitions that needs to be investigated. And they took him the way they took him, flagging completely anything they call due process off the chart. They did not follow the due process. All right. I love this writer here. It's very, very intentional. I like that. Let me also continue. Administrative bail should not be used as a tool for indefinite detention or to create the impression of guilt before a fair trial. Exactly. The public deserves transparency, not vague references to petition. Bam! This person is spot on. Exactly the things I've been talking about. That statement they made is completely vague to me. It's not making any sense. Because of petitions you receive, you came and yacked off somebody from the street with, I believe it was even a planned thing on how to get him. Somebody must have made that call. Somebody. There is no way he just entered the place. The next thing, those people, the unknown vehicle, the unknown people came and blocked the entrance of the bank. It's difficult for anybody to believe. Any right-thinking person to believe is difficult. So the guy continue. Let's continue. The public deserves transparency, not vague references to petition without details or the right of response. Furthermore, the EFCC acknowledgement of Mr. Very Darkman's criticism of its operation is noted. However, this should never be used directly or indirectly to justify or coincident with any form of harassment, suppression, or intimidation. We demand the immediate release of the Very Dark Man, or at least a public disclosure of the so-called invitation he allegedly ignored. The Nigerian people deserve the truth, not insinuation and half explanation. Let justice be done openly and fairly. This person is a very, 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 very a good critic. I don't know who he is. I'm trying to get his name. I don't know if he's Very Dark Man's brother. No, he's not. I don't know who Big Nate is, but that is a very well written, constructively written comment, not just anyhow comment. And it boils down to what I was saying. You came, you took somebody, you actually blocked the entrance of the bank where the person was. That means there was an informant that gave a clue of where he was and how, according to the news making round, that the door of the bank could not open, trapped him there for 5 minutes, which gave anybody looking for him an opportunity to come and, block the entrance of the place until he gets down. Hi, Augustina. Thank you for joining me today. So now, this statement EFCC made, I said it before, is very vague. It's not pointing out clearly to what they are accusing Very Dark Man of. They said petitions against him. Is that how you arrest people that people wrote petitions against? Let me even give an example. That means to walk the streets of Nigeria is no longer safe, because you might have something with somebody and the person will throw petitions to EFCC and boom, EFCC will go on manhunt, looking for you anywhere they find you, whether they find you in your mother's kitchen, they will yank you off. Whether they find you in church, they will yank you off because of petition. What happened to saying what offense? What are the petitions? They did not even, because there are so many speculations that went on. Some people say cyber stalking. Some people say it was messaging. There are so many things. At least they're not saying it's a Yabojo this time or Tonto Dike. They're not saying there are so many speculations out there. That would have been the reason why the EFCC would have brought out a very straightforward statement saying, yes, we have there's somebody petitioned him based on AYZ. So Nigerians will understand why Very Dark Man is being detained. I'm not saying if anybody commits an offense, you should know. No, nobody is above the law. But let it be the same manner and measure you treat others. Don't go into this special treatment when it comes to politicians that squandered public funds. Once they join a certain party, their sins are forgiven. But when it comes to a common man, every aspect of Nigerian law will be active, will be alive and bubbling. But when it comes to who is who in that country, some of those laws will go to sleep. Why is it that way? The young Nigerians that protested yesterday were chanting, they should take Yaya Bello and release Very Dark Man. How many millions are they talking about Yaya Bello in terms of dollars, pounds, naira that the guy has squandered? Up till date, the guy is chilling in his home. How about Okowa? Okowa defected to a certain ruling party. His sins of 1.4 billion that EFCC were chasing after suddenly went to sleep. But or because of petition, this one concerning these two ex-governors I talked about right now, they have done all their investigation. They have their facts. EFCC has documents to prove what these people did, how they diverted this fund, is not just petition only. They have done their due diligence concerning these ex-governors. One of the ones we saw that played out was one of the school fees, tuition, that former sitting governor has paid tuition on all his children until they finish school. Let's say the person is in just one. They've paid tuition from just one to SS3. Even before the child passed the next class, tuition already paid from the public funds, state government account. They have those facts. They have the evidence. But those people are chilling in their bedrooms. Even Yaya Bello that they were chanting, they should take Yaya Bello. That one invaded arrest. It was clear cut. They went to government house. They blocked the whole place. They went to his house. The military people, police, will I say, enforcement agency fighting each other, blocked everywhere from EFCC. But they can whisk the VeryDark man off the streets. He has no security to protect him. That is a common man situation. Based on petition, not that they've done their due diligence, they've done their investigation, they have their facts. No, based on petitions, you're detaining him. If I were a VeryDark man, I'm not going to say a word. If you have charges against me, charge me to court. Charge me to court. Because you've already done everything you needed to do. He's been there Friday night, Saturday, Monday. Today will be the 4th day he's been in detention. They should charge the matter to court. Let's go there. In as much as I don't believe in judiciary, because now them. Even when they get there, they will go and get their favorable judge and assign the case to his court. I don't even trust the judicial system that if they go to court, that the VeryDark man might get justice. I don't trust that. But coming out to make this kind of statement that I call a vague statement, making reference to several petitions, saying that they've invited him several times on all the known address, on all his medium of communication, and he refused to show up. That's why they took him the way they took him. They should be able to put those things also as proof. That I know they will not. They will not. Unfortunately, that is the reality on ground. And that's why I keep telling people, if whatever you're doing, your dealings, make sure your hands are pure. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Because if these people are after you, they are going to use every means to make sure they get you. Every means possible to make sure you succumb. It doesn't matter to them the extent they go. They are going to do everything and even go above and beyond to make sure they get the person. They have released a statement at least acknowledging that they have the VeryDark man. But that statement to me is as vague as anything vague could be. Because of petitions, you whisk somebody off the street. You're now telling citizens that it's not safe to walk the street. You're now treating the person as though he has been found guilty. I don't think he's been found guilty because they haven't even gone to court. They haven't gone to court. They have the order, they've gotten the order to detain him until they conclude their investigation. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. Nobody, like I said, is above the law. If VeryDark man committed an offense, of course, let him be charged. Let him be charged. Let due process be followed. We also have the one with Judo Koye and P Square Brothers, how his own went. Like I said, nobody is above the law. Give me 1 second, guys. Like I said, nobody is above the law. We saw how the one for Judo Koye, P Square's brother, went. We saw how they detained Judo Koye. And Judo Koye is the P Square brothers that we are fighting against, bordering against on money. Peter Okoye is saying that they took his money and Jude was detained. And he think he was detained for about 2 weeks, maybe the same length of time they are giving the Very Dark Man right now. So nobody, like I said, is above the law. If you commit an offense, you should be charged rightly. You should be charged rightly. They should take your case to court and give you opportunity to defend yourself. Opportunity for fair hearing. For fair hearing is very, very important. Very important. Nobody should ignore that. When people talk about it, fair hearing, this is for situations like this. Now they are going to keep him there, squeeze him left, squeeze him right, do everything necessary for him to commit to something. You understand? And that is where I'm hoping that he has sound lawyers. Deji is a young lawyer. He doesn't know much, but he has public opinion and public, backing him up. They should get solid lawyers, SANS, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Because keeping him is a way to, to bend him, is a way to make him commit to something. If they have serious case against this guy, to be honest with you, by today, they would have charged him to court. Because they said they have petitions. Today, he would have been charged to court. So if they have something against him, charge him to court. And tell people this is the reason why we arrested him in the first place. And this is the reason why he's being charged to court. Like I said, I'm still doubting the thing they said they've been sending him an invitation. They sent him several invitations and he refused to go. It doesn't look like Very Dark Man. It doesn't sound like Very Dark Man, MO. That's not how we've seen him operate. It doesn't sound like him that they sent him several invitations and he refused to honor them. He can't come out and tell the world, yes, they should come and arrest him. And then these people say they've been sending him invitations. It doesn't sound like there is something fishy about that statement. Or let's see if they will prove it. Yeah. For the fact that they are a law enforcement agency does not mean if you take them to court, they will not bring their evidences. They will still provide evidence to whatever it is they are alleged. So if they are claiming that they have sent him those notices, yes, by the time they go to court, the lawyers of the Very Dark Man will be able to ask them to tender those things as evidence in court so that they will know truly you tried to reach out to him and he invaded your being arrested until you got him the way you got him. That will make sense. But it doesn't sound like Very Dark Man's MO. It doesn't sound like it. Anyway, that's by the way. Now, what exactly will be happening now? Interrogation. They're trying to interrogate him. They're trying to bring things before him. They say they've been tracking his phone. And based on that, they got information about alleged financial crime. They are going to do all of those, place all of those, before him. And then, okay, what was the relationship between AYZ and you? This person transferred so amount of money. This person did this person did that, or whatever. Those are the things they are going to say. And at the end of the day, they will be able to charge him to court. And they should be able to bail him if he meets bail condition. I know Very Dark Man has, people's goodwill. So they are going to rally around to bail him. But the point is, the way he was taken, it could be anybody. It could happen to anybody. People should not even laugh about it. It could be anybody. I saw Bobrisky's video laughing at Very Dark Man. He who laugh last, laugh best. If it's truly he who laugh last, laughing best, I wonder what Bobrisky is doing in another country when he knows that his life and everything, his way of life is centered in Nigeria. If he's truly laughing last, what is he doing in another country? where they say he's seeking, I don't know if it was asylum, they said he was seeking. He would have been in Lagos, but he ran. And then you're still on the you're still on the run and you're laughing at someone. That's what makes me think sometimes I don't know how people process things. If you did not escape, he whisked himself out. He tried going through Cotonou, he was caught. He tried going into Lufthansa, he was even dragged out from the plane and delayed other passengers. Those are the things we saw on, in the videos. Before he left, he was whisked out. And you're on the other side of the world laughing at the very dark man. That's shameful to say. Because you're not free. You that is laughing at the very dark man, Bobrisky is not free. If Bobrisky gets to Lagos today, they will grab him. Trust me, they will arrest him. Because they wanted him and he tried to escape 2 times. On the third one, he succeeded. And he's saying he who laughed last. It's not every adage you're going to equate in your situation. It has nothing to do because you are not free, because you haven't faced the cases or allegations against you or the petitions. You haven't faced it, Bobrisky. You're the least person I expected to see laughing. To be honest, but that's human beings for you. They think they figured the world out. No. When someone is down and in pain, that's when the true character of people are going to show up. I'm not saying that the approach the very dark man uses in some of his dealings are right. No. There are some things he said he could have said differently. But what I'm saying, when due process is not followed concerning any citizen, it should be talked about. People should lend their voices. Because if you allow such to continue to go unspoken, it's going to be the norm. They are going to use that to continue to intimidate people. So people speaking about it doesn't mean, yeah, they are supporting every bad thing. No, like I said here, if the very dark man committed an offense, they should charge him to court. And I'm still asking, what offense did he commit? Especially the manner which they took him. What offense did he commit? Even if they wanted to take him that day, the issue of that he was covered up, his face was covered, was very unnecessary. And nobody addressed that on that statement made by EFCC. Was that really the case? Was he really covered? Was it that nobody got a video? Nobody, Nigerians, at every small thing, everybody carry camera, just the video. Nobody got a video that would have been sent out on social media. Because the one we saw was the CCTV, where people also intimidated not to film. I don't know. There are so many questions bordering on this. Now, I said they are going to detain for 14 days on my thumbnail. That's the order they have gotten is to keep him until they conduct their investigation. They are going to do that. EFCC is very fond of doing that. So it's not news. The last one that was done, if you guys are following the stories of the Peter and P Square Okoye, yeah, their senior brother was detained for that length of time in EFCC custody until he was finally released last week. So that wouldn't be the case. But I want to know what offense they are detaining Very Dark Man for. That is very important to my analysis. If anybody has an idea, saying that petitions were brought up against him, that is not enough. At least when Jude Okoye was detained, people knew why Jude was in the EFCC. It was not a hidden thing. People knew that P Square dragged his brother to EFCC because of XYZ amount of money that they defrauded him of. It was out there, plain and simple. So why is this one being covered? What are they trying to protect? Are they trying to perfect their story so that it will look logical? What is the reason behind this arrest? I'm still asking. If you have any clue on the reason behind the arrest, let me know in the comment section, because it's still not making sense to me. You have petitions. Petitions on what? Bordering on financial crime, they say. Series of petition against VeryDark man. Series of petition against him. I'm trying to look at other things people said in that. And Martin Innocence, when I invite, Google arrest. Okay. People are saying that the VeryDark man is innocent on the comment section of EFCC statement. What is the difference between series of petition and multiple petition? You debunked the news yesterday and still post same news. What are the petition? Who are the petitioners? That's the question people are asking. Yeah, remember they said they granted an interview with BBC Pidgin, and they now said it wasn't true, it was fake news. It was still the same thing they came out this morning to officially say, without mentioning the exact allegation against VeryDark man. They just said financial crime. That is general, okay? Who did he defraud? Did he defraud A or B, or what kind of transaction did they say he did that is against the law? We need to know. It's not making so much sense to me. And I'm beginning to see that as a way to confuse people. But what the essence of that statement is to calm people down so that people will stop protesting, for them to be able to put the house together. But people are no longer kids. It's not those days that people are looking away. They believe in the VeryDark man more than they believe in the president of their country. It's very unfortunate. They believe in the VeryDark man more than they believe their governors, more than they believe their senators, because these people are there to enrich their pockets. But VeryDark man is doing the Lord's work, if I'll put it that way. He is more effective than a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? And when people lose that faith and confidence in their leaders, they start looking for who will advocate for them. And that's what they are seeing in the VeryDark man. That's what they are seeing. And that does not mean that the VeryDark man cannot possibly commit an offense. Of course he can. Anybody walking the streets is possible, capable of doing wrong. The only person that cannot do wrong is Christ. And Christ is no longer walking the street. That's the only person that cannot do no wrong. Any other person can say something that might offend another person, or do something that might go contrary to a rule, go contrary to guidelines. I'm going to give you an example. They say keep Lagos clean, keep Nigeria clean. People still drink sachet water and fling the bag on the road. Do you think it's not against the law? It is. But some of these people doing this, they are not even intentionally doing it. It's an unintentional act because it has been the norm in that society. People are not careful not to drop litters on the road. No. So to them, they didn't do anything until you have to sit that person down and educate that person that that thing you did is against sanitary rules. You're not supposed to litter the street. That's when the person will say, I don't know now. They didn't tell me, say, there is what they call sanitary rules. So VeryDark man, if he committed an offense, of course, they should take him to court, follow the due process, and try him. But coming to tell us the vague statement that they said, it's not making sense. I wish they made it more elaborate, in more details to that statement, saying, yes, this is the allegation brought against him, and we are charging him to court on XYZ day. To be charged to court tomorrow. We have perfected our document. We are going to court tomorrow. If you want to follow up on the VeryDark man's case, you follow the court hearing. No. And they could have said, okay, yeah, the reason he's been charged is been somebody brought a petition that he defrauded him of 20 million whatever currency. That is not the case. It's still based on allegation, still based on petition. What kind of petition? Bordering on financial crime. It's very convenient for EFCC to say petition bordering on financial crime. That is what the commission does. They are the ones to tackle anything bordering on financial crime. So it doesn't make sense. And for somebody to come and tell me, yes, people that have people in the EFCC, they use that to intimidate people. I can categorically say that. They use that to intimidate people. I recall years ago, a family friend of ours was arrested by was invited by EFCC. The person went to the EFCC on what case? The contractor that was working on their family home, the family refused to continue the payment to the contractor. But because the contractor has his brothers, working in the EFCC, he used the EFCC to come and intimidate the other people. When our family friend got to the EFCC many years ago, he was first of all surprised that he was invited. Now ask them what is going on. They said yes, that this person brought charges against you. He said to EFCC, why didn't he go to the court? Why didn't he go to the police, make the report and follow the court? Why EFCC? Did he tell you what they did? They were constructing a family house. The next thing, after putting up the decking collapsed. What do you think was the problem? Do you think it was material that they did not provide? Why is this case in EFCC in the first place? So by the time the person put out every detail of what has happened, they had to tell them, I'm so sorry, we are sorry to disturb your day. We are going to strike out this case. We are going to inform them if they have a case against you, they should go to court. So some people use their influence, which is very known in Niger, use their influence to intimidate people. If you have a family friend working in a law enforcement and you have a problem with someone, they will use that to intimidate you. Is that what is playing out here with the Very Dark Man? We are yet to find out. As of right now, we don't know. The people that brought this petition against the Very Dark Man is still not clear, because EFCC did not put some flesh on the bone that they served the public. Let them put some flesh on the bone so that people will get the details and know the reason why the Very Dark Man is being whisked away and know the reason why they are still keeping him in detention. From what Daddy Freeze was saying, throwing shades regarding Mercy Chinwo, could that be the reason why the Very Dark Man was arrested? In my previous live stream, I said, no, I don't want to believe it's Mercy Chinwo. Somebody came here, one rattle came here telling me I should not say that it's possible that it's Mercy Chinwo, that he believed it was Mercy Chinwo and all of that. I said till tomorrow, I will still not believe it's Mercy Chinwo. I have my reasons for saying that, but I could also be wrong. The reason why I said that, if it was Mercy Chinwo, what Very Dark Man said would be in line of maybe cyber stalking than financial crime. Because there is no financial dealing between Mercy Chinwo and the Very Dark Man. They have never had transaction together. So he can't bring that kind of case against Very Dark Man to the EFCC. If they are saying cyber stalking, the Very Dark Man has been talking about Mercy Chinwo, bullying Mercy Chinwo on the internet, it would have been a different ball game. But they did not talk about cyber stalking in their statement. They said bordering on financial crime. So what exactly is that financial crime? Who is really behind this? What kind of transaction must have transpired for EFCC to say there are so many transactions, series of petitions against Very Dark Man bordering on financial crime? We look forward to getting more details on this statement, because this statement is as vague could be. I'm not seeing anything substantial there to say, yeah, this is actually the reason why the Very Dark Man was taken away. I don't call that arrest. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm not seeing that, to be honest. If you have any clear idea of what is going on, let me know. And according to, there is this blogger, I'm calling him a government blogger right now, Cutie Juice. He blogs for the government. That's the way I look at it, because his write-up is not talking as a neutral person that is just broadcasting information or news. That's why I made that reference. He said the EFCC has a lawful right to hold the Very Dark Man and any other custody suspect being investigated by EFCC. This is not making sense. The EFCC should be allowed to do its job without fear or favor. Of course, nobody's. He said, which one is fear or favor? Where is the fear? Where is the favor? Who is stopping EFCC from doing their job? Nobody. The only thing people are asking for, and will still ask, what offense did the very dark man commit? In their statement, they could have categorically explained it there. There is petition against very dark man. It's been alleged that very dark man went into central bank and took their vote, that kind of a thing. Then people will know, oh, okay, now I see the reason why you guys did what you did. Or there is a petition against very dark man that he has used his a pen and paper and wrote off all Nigerians their money. Things like that. People will know what the offense is, and people will say, okay, you know what, we'll follow you guys to the court and see what is happening. But coming to just put a vague statement saying petition is not making so much sense to me. Unfortunately, it's not making so much sense to me. Katori, how are you? Longest time. How have you been? Longest time. Thank you for stopping by today. So I'm still looking at things to see if there is anything that will happen, or what people are saying, or if there is any tangible news out there that people are going to talk about. What is Deji saying? Deji is back to the country. He said he got into the country. He went straight to see the very dark man at EFCC. Okay, fine. That's all Deji just said. We still cannot understand why he was arrested. EFCC said there is no petition against him after our repeated demand. Now I don't even know who to believe. EFCC said there are petitions. Deji said there was no petition as of yesterday, but today we are going to find out what truly is going on, what truly is happening, what is going on here. They should be able to tell the people, when I mean the people, what offense the very dark man committed. They should be able to do that. They should, sincerely. That is how to calm the tempo of everyone down. That is how to tell people, yeah, okay, it makes sense now. I can understand this could be the reason. Okay, fine. Let's see how it plays out in the court. But coming to write a statement without giving it, adding some flesh on the bone is still not making that sense to me. I beg to differ, but if you think the EFCC statement made so much sense, let me know your reasons in the comment section. I need to know what you're thinking right now concerning that. As a matter of fact, I'm not seeing that as, making sense, because they did not give details who the petitioners are. They are protecting the petitioners. I understand that. They mustn't give the name of the petitioners because people are going to storm on their social media handles to kind of troll them. That's fine, protect them. But tell people the allegation in question. Tell people what exactly is written on those petitions. If the very dark man went and used pen and barrel because he's government official and wrote away in all Nigerian money, make you tell us. If the very dark man went to Nigerian Central Bank and took their vote, let people know. People want to know the offense he's been detained for. It's that simple. People want to know the offense he's been detained for. They want to know that. The offense the very dark man is being detained for. That's what people want to know. Okay? They really want to know the offense he's been detained for. It doesn't make sense if you're not giving the people more information about what is going on. When it was the likes of Judo Koye, people knew that because Peter is alleging that the brother took XYZ amount of money from him, that's why he was in EFCC. It was not any strange thing. People did not start thinking too much of why and the what. No, I would expect them to do the right thing. Today is Tuesday. As a matter of fact, is about 5 minutes past 1 p.m. Nigerian time. They should be able to tell the citizens especially Very Dark Man followers that are so eager to know what Very Dark Man did for them to have whisked him away the way they did. They should be able to tell those people, tell Nigerians, tell everybody that cares to know there is an allegation of this, this, and that against the Very Dark Man. Saying petitions were brought against him is not enough. They should do the right thing by saying exactly what happened or what the Very Dark Man did. The next thing they will say, people should be patient. Yeah, we understand they need to conduct their investigation. As they are still the same people that said they sent several invitations to him. When they were sending the invitation, based on the petition people brought against him, they would have started investigating. Some people said they tracked his transaction, so they have evidences against him. They should tell us now. Let's know what is going on. That's what I want to believe. They should be able to tell, yes, based on the evidence we've gathered so far, this is the petition, and we want to do the investigation. This is the reason. This is the offense we are charging him to court with. Until then, we are going to be following the story, and I really appreciate your time this morning. If you haven't liked this live stream for me, click on your phone, double click on your phone to give a like to the live stream. If you're watching from your phone, if you're watching from tablet or laptop, please click the like button to support what we do here. When we see stories like this, we try to give our opinion, analyze the story to the fairest way possible, so that every side will know that yes, if you do this, this is the consequences of that action, so that people will be well informed. And by doing so, we're educating the people to always follow the law, always obey the law, always do the right thing. I'm not saying the law in Nigeria is going to protect you. I'm sorry, I don't have that faith anymore. Not in the judiciary, not in the executive, not in the legislation. I'm sorry, that's where I stand. I don't have that faith there is justice. But even when there is no justice, still follow the law, still obey the law, do the right thing, be on the right side of the law. Don't be on the wrong side of the law. Yesterday, when they were protesting, I did a live stream telling every protester there should make sure they do a civil protest. Don't go to the wrong side of the law, because if anything should happen to you, you might be in detention longer than you know it. And before you know it, it will be another case for you. We also saw how that young boy that was pictured during the presidential election of P2B, how the boy was bundled and sent to jail. If not for people that were advocating, the human rights people that picked up that case, followed it until the boy was released, that boy would have languished there. And it wasn't a 2-month affair. He's been there locked up, was it since 2023 or early 2024. So always make sure you are seems to be doing the right thing. Do the right thing. Follow the law. If they could take the Very Dark Man the way they took him, what do you think will happen to you? The Very Dark Man at least has following. That's why people are talking about him. How about you? If they take you, who will talk about you? When you know all these things, you'll be able to know, ask yourself that question. I would rather be on the right side of doing what is expected of me, following the law, making sure you're a law-abiding citizen wherever you find yourself. Do not do things that will put you in jeopardy. That's basically what I'm saying. So what lesson are we learning? Right now, we don't know exactly the offenses of the Very Dark Man. I will continue to ask this question, what is his offense? Until we find ourselves getting the information we all deserve to know what offense he committed, and then follow the story. You all know I'll be following this story as it developed. I sincerely want to say a big thank you to all of you. This is not my live stream time, but the days are breaking very early, so I might as well be doing live streams at this hour, because in the summer period, my wake up time is 5 a.m. During the winter, my wake up time is 6, because the day breaks so early. So there's no point lying in bed doing nothing. So I might be using this time to do live stream every morning. So if you want to know the update concerning the Very Dark Man, update that will generate from now till tomorrow, check in with me here at Oyoyo Media. We'll be following this story. Even up to the court level, we'll be following this story. We want to know what is really going on. We are interested to know the offenses that are going to charge the Very Dark Man for. I want to know the offenses he committed. I really want to know the offense they are charging him for. Until then, if you have more information about the story as it's developing, leave those for me in the comment section. We might discuss them based on your chat. Leave your thought and your chat in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And to the EFCC, I'm going to say this. The EFCC Commission, for people who do not know what EFCC means, EFCC is the Economic Financial Crime Commission. Okay, they are the ones, charged by authority, Nigerian authority, to do what? To investigate and prosecute those crimes, offenses related to financial, economic, everything. I'm going to give an example of money laundering. Those are the things they are charged to oversee in Nigeria. Okay? When you talk about know your customer for those banks, that was one of those things EFCC, we are doing at the time. When the banks were sending young people to go and open an account, they were even opening an account for those they cannot verify their information. Those are within what the EFCC makes sure the banks follow know your customer law before opening an account. Those are the things the EFCC Commission is charged for doing. Now, EFCC is said to be fighting corruption in Nigeria. It's expected as you fight that corruption, you should also be looking forward to having that confidence from the public, having that following from the public. Let the citizen see you to be carrying out the duties that the commission is charged to do. Let the public know that. That could be the reassuring that we still have, when the public will be saying in their mind, okay, we can see at least EFCC is working. EFCC is doing what they're supposed to do. That confidence, the commission needs it from the public. The public confidence, yes, we believe in EFCs. We know they do the right thing. We know that's what the EFCC should be looking forward to. Not the manner of which they took the Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man is a public figure. Is the citizens' hope, the poor masses. That guy is their hope. When they see the Very Dark Man and what he has accomplished within the short space he has been on social media, he has been seen as the hope of the common man. If the EFCC did not follow the due process of arrest and took the Very Dark Man the way they did, what do you think is going to happen to that public perception, public confidence on EFCC part? Why am I saying this? It's not late to do the right thing. If EFCC feels they have strong allegation against this guy, they should charge him to court straight up. There is no point detaining him forever. And they should be able to communicate to the public the reason why the poor man's Messiah, poor man's hope is being detained. Like I said, people trust the Very Dark Man more than they trust this government of Nigeria. That is a fact. So EFCC should be able to communicate to the public with facts, with statement that will say, okay, we understand now, we know now, we can see, okay, let's reason with EFCC. They should be able to carry the public along. It's very important. You cannot be that agency that is fighting corruption. You cannot be that agency that is trying to make things right. And at the same time, you're stepping on the people, the sole people that should be able to say, yes, we trust this commission, we believe in this commission, they do their job without fear or favor. Like I said, if VeryDark man committed an offense, he should be charged to court. And EFCC should be able to tell the public the reason why. Just like when Jude Okoye of the P Squares were taken by EFCC, people, the public knew why the guy was there. People are expecting transparency from EFCC. There is no point trying to, cover things up. Be transparent in your transaction. Be transparent in your transaction. Let your commission get that public trust. They don't have the trust right now for EFCC. They don't even believe EFCC is doing the right thing, because before their very eyes, they are seeing the case of Yaya Bello. They've seen the case of Kowa and other politicians that the moment they jumped from one party to another, nobody is talking about their crimes anymore. EFCC will not mention their case anymore. And the masses, they've lost hope. And you coming to deal with the VeryDark man with the way you did on Friday is against the due process of arrest. I don't see that to believe that's the right thing to do. Like I said, we'll be following this story, and I sincerely want to thank all of you. If you haven't liked this video, like this video for me. Click the like button, share this video, share your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. We might be talking about your comment the next time we meet. Check me out on my next story. I'll be following this VeryDark man story, and we are definitely going to follow it to a logical conclusion. By the time we get to know the offenses VeryDark man committed, the reason why they are keeping him, we'll come here to analyze the offense to know if the offense can be, weighted against the manner which they took him. Until I see you guys next time, always remember, please and please be on the right side of the law. There is no point fighting the law. Rather, use the law to fight the law enforcement. You get what I'm saying? Yes. Use the law to fight your case. Don't go against the law. Because you know what? According to the Logan, they are watching. Don't find yourself in a situation that you might not be able to come out very freely. I want to thank all of you once again. Thank you for joining me this day. I appreciate your time. If you haven't liked the live stream, click and like. And if you're just coming in right now, you can do a replay to know what we discussed about today. The EFCC is now admitting that they have the VeryDark man in their custody, and they have stated in their statement that they have series of petitions against the VeryDark man bordering on alleged financial crime. They did not specifically point out exactly what the petitions are, but they just say they have series of petitions. I would prefer they give more flesh to that bone statement they put out there. Yeah, let's have some beef on those statements. Let's have some flesh on the statement. But unfortunately, that's what they released. If you have seen that statement, let me know what you think in the comment section, and we'll meet again on another discussion. And we'll be following this case of the VeryDark man and the EFCC. Until I see you guys in my next one, this is a beautiful Tuesday. Go make the best out of it. And remember, you are your own kind of beautiful. Nobody is going to do anything for you unless you do it for yourself. Stand strong and stand tall. And at the same time, be in the right side of the law. Don't do anything that will jeopardize your freedom. Freedom is important. Right now, VeryDark man is in detention because of what? Petitions that we know nothing about. Until we hear further, we'll come here to discuss. Thank you guys for joining me today, and have a blessed day. Bye, everyone. Ciao, ciao.